we will have last minute cancellation of deals. There's an interest in Ayurveda, there's an interest in general medicine. So all the dual organs, like you have eyes. So our eyes are a pair of eyes. You have pair of ears. So anything that comes in pairs, pair of legs, pair of hands, anything that comes in pairs, Ashwini rules them. So any work that needs emergency services, like ambulance is there, somebody is driving an ambulance, he has to have his Ashwini very strong or very influential. So the traits of this nakshatra as per astrology is we will have last minute cancellation of deals. Let's suppose your 10th house is influenced by Ashwini. What I would mean by 10th house is, if your 10th lord's dispositor is in Ashwini, he is going to influence, Ashwini is going to influence hugely on your 10th. That means your job. So you may get a job at the last moment, your job is cancelled or it's denied. No, oh, sorry, sir. Final moment, we've given you the offer, but I'm actually taking back the offer. I'm sorry. That's what can happen to Ashwini. Okay, and this person can be very playful and mischievous. Okay, like let's suppose playing pranks on friends. First Lord Dispositor in Ashwini, First Lord in Ashwini, lot of pranks he would keep playing. So somebody answers, if he answers the call of his peer group, you would get to see this guy is playing a prank for sure. Immediately after starting the call or the conversation starts, he would start with a prank. Okay, that's the primary indication of how Ashwini works. So even if you see the person, how actively the Ashwini is working, you will get to know that. We'll have problems with boss because Ashwini Devatas or the Ashwini Kumaras were denied entry into the heaven by Indra, the boss. So these people are going to face issues with boss, okay, in professional life. So if you have to see professional life, then again you have to connect it with to the 10th house or to the 5th house, because the 5th house would involve promotions. So career ladder would be seen from the 5th house. So you have the 5th house or the 10th house significators connected to the Ashwini. Then you may feel that my boss is very troublesome. I have some issue with my boss. I don't know. He would not recognize me or my work. Okay, these problems can be there. These people are fond of herbal drinks. A lot of things on the surgery side. Lot of knowledge on the the curiosity or the anxiety to learn about medicine and stuff like that. If you have significations of Ashwini very active. Okay. The only drawback in this, or the only biggest trouble that can come from Ashwini is if your 4th lord gets connected, or the 4th lord dispositor rather gets connected to the Ashwini. Then you may have a stepmother on the negative side. On the bright side, you may say you have mother-like figures around you, just not your mother. They can be mother-like figures around you. That's the bright side of it. So all the dual organs, like you have eyes. So our eyes are a pair of eyes. You have pair of ears. So anything that comes in pairs, pair of legs, pair of hands, anything that comes in pairs, Ashwini rules them. And in the Ashwini, marriage is neutral. I mean to say, if your 7th lord's dispositor falls in Ashwini, Ashwini can neither help the marriage nor destroy the marriage. Okay. So now you can say Ashwini is neutral about the marriage, and then you have to look for let's suppose the 7th lord dispositor is in Ashwini, it's neutral. Now you look for 7th lord cusp, and then you look for the 7th lord himself, the placement of nakshatras. So wherever these are, based on that and those significations, the marriage can be stable or the marriage can be bad. Okay. So it's quite neutral for Ashwini. It will not influence much on the marriage part. Okay. However, what is good about this nakshatra is there are no extreme results that might come up due to any problems of Ashwini. Any planets that are troubling in Ashwini as well Ashwini is not favorably working for the native, even then, you will not expect great deal of problems with this nakshatra. However, the next nakshatra that comes up in the next episode of us is the Bharani. That's a very troublesome nakshatra. Anything happens in the nakshatra, any wrong happens, the deal of result will be very big. You will have to deal with a big problem when Bharani is around. And the other problem that you might face with the Ashwini Nakshatra is the blockage of fallopian tubes. Okay, because you would see Ashwini is actually the first nakshatra with respect to Aries. Okay, so what Ashwini would also represent is like the our birth it would represent. So if you take all the 27 nakshatras, you will get to see that each of the nakshatra would represent one part of our life. So Ashwini is actually the part of life of us wherein we come out of our father as sperm. So Ashwini rules the sperm, and when the sperm meets the ovum of our mother, there is a fertilization process that happens. So that's what the Ashwini would rule. And the next nakshatra called Bharani would rule the part of life when we are in the womb of the mother. So a person has to transcend to something. The sperm has to transcend into the womb. So for that, there is an obstruction. So that's the fallopian tube obstruction. You can get to see this from the Jyeshtha star. When I explain this in the Sarvato Bhadra Chakra, I'll teach you that in a few days. That's the next level of it. Like the Jyeshtha is ruled by the Indra and Ashwini is ruled by the Ashwini Kumaras. So there is a constant Veda between these two nakshatras. So Sarvato Bhadra Chakra, just for your information, is available here on the chakras if you go. And this is available only in Jagannatha Hora. So on the mobile softwares, Sarvato Bhadra Chakra is not available. As far as I know, if they are available, please use them. So I'm just clicking on this Ashwini. I just right click, highlight the Vedas, aspects, and lattas on this star. Okay. You can see Rohini is obstructing, Purva Phalguni is obstructing, and Jyeshtha is obstructing. So all these, wherever in whichever horoscope you see, you will see these three stars will be obstructing, Ashwini. Rohini is called the Brahma. When we know about this star, I'll explain it to you in more detail. Rohini is the Brahma. Purva Phalguni is the Aryaman, which is like the father, the Pitris, or the world of Pitris. Okay, so he is called as the Aryaman. And Jyeshtha is Indra. So if a person is childless, okay, it means that the Brahma and the Indra and the Pitris are not happy, so that he is leaving you childless or the native childless. That's what the Sarvato Bhadra Chakra mean. So Rohini is the Brahma. So Brahma is not interested in progressing the seed of yours for whatever reasons. Okay, I would not mean that you're a sinner or something just because you do not have children. It may be your own. It may be your own. Ordeal with the God in the previous life that I do not want children. Could be a deal with the God itself. Okay, when you were being sent here, you must have said, no, I would not need children because in the past life I have suffered mostly because of children. Keep me childless, I'll be the most happy. I'll be the most happiest person. Even that can happen. So do not think that a person does not have children would mean that he is a sinner. No. Then is the symbols. So each nakshatra has symbols. When we know about these symbols, you will understand that what are the characteristics or the significations of this nakshatra. So horses represent power, stamina, and speed. So horses do not sleep or sleep very, very less and very workaholic. So any planet in the Ashwini Nakshatra is going to work relentlessly, continuously, restlessly. Okay, they also eat more. Okay, but they have digestive issues. So Ashwini can also pose up a little bit of a digestive issues, provided you have to see the fifth house and the eighth house for digestive issues. So what I'm trying to tell you is, if you have to identify a problem, okay, or a prosperity, both, okay, you would need at least, I mean, let's take the prosperity case. If somebody has to be prosperous, it has to be visible from the nakshatra and also from the yoga. So how the yogas are seen, as I told you. So if somebody has digestive issues because of Ashwini, it also should be appearing in on the fifth and the eighth houses, either the lords or the houses and stuff like that. So how would we get to see? We will eventually learn, like, for digestive problems, you need heat in the stomach. So heat is coming from Sun and the Mars. So the cold planets are the Saturn. So Saturn is the cold planet. It would not want digestion to happen faster. So it will slow down the digestion. So any connection to fifth house or eighth house, you have digestive issues for Saturn. Provided you also have the other combination. So you have digestive issues. It means that the Ashwini and this both have to be tandemly working. That's when you will have severe um, digestive issues, or it can be so that off and on you get some digestive troubles, or maybe in the late part of your life you may have some digestive issues. So how would we know what is the timing? Then we have to do the timing based on the dashas and stuff like that. So I would never say that just by merely looking at one thing, do not give give a prediction. Never give a prediction just based on one particular combination. Okay, always look for confirmations from different angles. That's when that's when the whole stuff would work. Right. So male horses were like postmen, soldiers, doctors. These people were using horses. So Ashwini would mean anything that is fast. So any work that needs emergency services, like ambulances. There, somebody is driving an ambulance. He has to have his Ashwini very strong or very influential. Otherwise, he would not respond very well. He wouldn't be, reaching the person who is in need of medical help very easily. He will have issues with traveling and stuff like that. Okay. And this swan or the Hamsa is actually a symbol of jnana, the fertility and the procreation. So as I said, the problems of fertility, fallopian tube blockages could also be seen from the Ashwini. These are the only two problems, either having step mothers and having fertility issues. These are the only two problems that you can see from Ashwini. Okay, so we can narrow down based on the nakshatra itself what problem it can pose with respect to each lord is what we will look at.